Hey, CLP. Just wanted to say hey. We've got lots of stuff coming up and wanted to get into it with you tonight and let you know what to expect.
That's right. And I just made my husband a very happy person because I let him do that news breaking thing at the beginning. And at first I was like, no, that's so lame. But there you go. Just for you guys.
That's
all right. We just wanted to kind of roll out the plan for you and give you some details. We've kind of been doing some brief things, but we're going to give you some really good details so that you can really have a clear understanding of what's going on and what our leadership has come up with. And so we just kind of first want to start by sharing you a little bit about the leadership and board's heart. Tim can talk to you about the board and representing them, and I'm here representing the leadership team tonight. So we spoke. The leadership team has been meeting, and the board and pastor actually since the beginning of all of this happened.
Right.
We've been really taking it step by step as we've been given information. We've been trying to adapt and adjust and make a plan that is really great and in the best interest of all of our Church of Life and Praise family, right? And
Exactly.
so recently with the new mandate, I guess you could call it, of 50 people or more, we are able to change again our plan. So the leadership met.
Yeah, we wanted to come to an understanding or not necessarily an understanding, but a plan that allowed everybody to feel like they could participate in service and be here when they could. And there are parts of it that aren't ideal, but we are in a time when it's not ideal.
Right.
And so we're making steps forward, which is good. We can now have a couple of groups here at a time, and that's a really cool thing. So we've kind of created this plan to help accommodate everybody's desires and allow for everybody to feel safe and comfortable coming to service. It's again not ideal, but it's the best that we can do at the time given what we have to work with. And
the leadership has really put a lot of prayer into this. We've spent a lot of hours meeting together, talking, discussing, rearranging, and then after our meeting, some of the leaders have been putting in even more hours trying to facilitate this and make sure that this can happen. And like Tim said, I think our biggest the heart is that number one, we can come and just worship Jesus. Number two, we can make steps towards having a big full service with everybody here worshiping together, because that's what we really want to happen. We just aren't allowed to do that yet, so we're making steps towards that. And number three, creating and respecting everybody's choices so that everyone has a place to worship here at CLP in a way that you feel comfortable doing at this time. So I think
we would definitely covet your support.
Yes.
Even though you may not necessarily understand or agree with, support is great. Prayers are a necessity.
Always needed.
And cooperation, as leaders ask you to do something, or ushers, or there are certain protocols put in place. They're there for a reason, and with the idea that it's all about how can we help everybody come to church and feel comfortable here. So if an usher asks you to do something, just do it. Just cooperate, and that way we can slowly transition through this time into the goal, which is everybody here all together again.
And the more we cooperate, the more we support each other and love each other and pray for one another and really take on the heart and mind and characteristics of Christ. Yes, I said that right. Michael, did I say that right? Okay. Then the richer the presence of God is going to be here. And so that's our heart, is to just be here together. And we are excited, though, that we get to start some live services. Even though they're limited, they get to be some live services. So here we go.
So we may as well get into the explanation. We're going to give you guys the plan.
All right. So what we're going to be doing, because of the limitations of capacity and the size of our building and all of that sort of thing, we are have decided, the first thing we've decided to do is really, our plan is based very much on the premise or the ideology that we want you as an individual to be able to make the choices that you feel best suit your family and your situation. So we have tried to put together a whole lot of different options and in different ways that you can worship and create different spaces and to be able to facilitate and accommodate that. So a lot of it will be your choice. We will put out the options and you get to choose which one you want to take, sort of like a little buffet, although buffets are all closed right now, so never mind. The biggest, I know, right? The kids really wanted to go to a buffet there. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not working. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it's like Pastor's rabbit trail the other day,
That's right.
literally a rabbit trail in his sermon. All right. What we are going to be doing is doing rotation. So as you all know, we've been doing small groups currently, where very small groups have been attending, been assigned to a group leader and have been attending home groups in a very small capacity, spread out all over several different homes. And so we are going to still be maintaining those small groups. So that's one thing we just want to make clear. The small groups are still in vogue, and we are still maintaining those. So you are still going to be part of that small group, and you are still going to check in and connect with that leader that you've been in charge of. And so what we're going to be doing, though, to kind of start getting some live services is that on a specific rotation, we're going to kind of do a small group rotation. So on certain Sundays, your small groups will be assigned to come to the church instead of going to your home, all right? So there will be certain Sundays that you'll be assigned to come here to the church instead of meeting at your leader's home. So on those weeks, you'd come here. On the weeks that you aren't assigned to be here on a Sunday, then you will just continue as normal as you do now. You'll go to the group homes. And I would really like to take this time, and I don't know if you want to chime in, to really encourage you to go to your home groups even when they're not here. I know it's, everybody wants to be here. That's everyone's desire, right? We all want to be here. But I am telling you, we have been hearing amazing reports from our home groups. And if you aren't going, you're missing out. So if you're able to go, I strongly encourage you to go. We've heard about the presence of God just coming in, and we've heard different ones who have been attending saying it was just like being in church. They put it on the TV, it's big, and they just are praising and worshiping, people dancing and just hearing from the Lord, and just really awesome things happening. So first of all, we just encourage you to do that. And second of all, when you're there at those home groups, really participate and get into the worship and allow God to move. If you're a person who's like, yeah, I don't do home groups, or that's just not the same for me, can I dare say, don't knock it till you try it?
Right. Well, and nothing is the same right now. Everything's different. So we have these opportunities, and the Bible talks about us gathering together, not to forsake that gathering together. And there's something powerful in that time when you can come together, even if it's a small group of saints, where you're like-minded and you're seeking God together, and you are there to sharpen each other and
support one another.
And the synergy of your worship together just changes it makes a difference in that worship experience. Can you worship God at home? Sure you can, but when you're together, there's something different about it. There's something better or different, I would say. So don't give up on them. Don't think, go, try it out. It's definitely worth your time, and you can touch people. The Lord might give you a word for someone. They might have a word for you.
We actually had a couple of Sundays ago, someone in one of the small groups was watching, and they had a word from the Lord, and they actually were able to talk to their group and then send that message here to those of us that were here as staff in the sanctuary, and we implemented that here, and it was powerful, like a prophetic word and a scripture to read and a specific prayer and a focus, and it changed the whole course of the service. So it was just really awesome. So we just encourage you to go to those small groups when it's your turn to go there. And then, of course, we would love to have you here when it's your assigned day. So rotation, assigned Sunday, you'll be here. And then, so I guess right now we'll put up the schedule. that we're going to be doing it. So you kind of have an idea. We'll try to get this into the 411 as an insert, and maybe post it somewhere digitally. Where can we post it?
I don't know.
Facebook, probably. Probably is where we're going to be. Facebook, or maybe on the our website. But be looking at both places. Excuse me. So here it is. So our rotation schedule. It's on a monthly. This is spread out over a month, and so every week there'll be different groups assigned. So as you can see here on your screen, week number 1 is going to be Pastor Barb's small group, Pastor Russ's small group, and the assigned Sunday staff and their families. Okay. On week number 2, it's not, I actually am going to talk about weeks 2 and 4 at the same time, because weeks 2 and 4 as a leadership, we really felt strongly that our junior high kids and our high school kids, where they're so social, really needed to have some space to interact. And so we have decided, we've talked to the Blaze teacher, Ms. Brenda.
It's a Blaze
and
Sunday.
It's a Blaze Sunday. 2 and 4 are Blaze Sundays. And so we're actually going to be having Blaze classes on the 2nd and 4th Sundays. So those will be Pastor Jim's small group, and Miss Brenda's small group will be coming assigned to weeks 2 and 4. All right. And the reason why we did that is because really most of their group has a lot of those kids in it. Right. But we also will be inviting all Blaze students and their families. So even if you're part of another small group, on Blaze Sunday, if you have Blaze kids that regularly attend the Blaze classes, and are currently, and this isn't for people who are stepping up into Blaze, just those who are currently in Blaze, as of before all this happened, then you will be coming on those weeks, okay? And then week 3, you can see, is Pastor Russ and Mrs. Newman, okay? So this plan is going to be rolling out and starting. Oh, I'm sorry. Pastor Ray, my bad. Week 3, you can see that. Pastor Ray and Vicky, all right? So your groups will be week 3. And if there's a 5th Sunday, those Sundays will be open to everyone. All of the available spots can be reserved by anyone, but they do have to be reserved. It's not just come.
All right. Not a free-for-all.
Not a free-for-all. You have to call, and that'll all be happening via text. We will shoot out a text, say 5th Sunday, text Brenda. So anytime you want to reserve a seat, you'll be texting Brenda. All right. And that number is 207-479-6272. Okay, so you'll be texting her, and if you need that again, you can just give us a call, and we'll let you know what that number is. That will also be happening throughout all of the Sundays. If we find out that there's people away, or in those small groups, or people not attending for what reason or not on those Sundays, and we have extra seats, we're going to be shooting out a text on Wednesdays, I think on Thursdays, to let you know if there's any seats available. And at that point, you'll do the same process. Text Brenda, and she'll sign you up, and then we'll let you know when those spaces are full. Okay, so that's what's happening with the rotations, and it's all going to be starting this Sunday.
Yes, Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the 21st, it's starting this Sunday, the 21st, and as you know, when you look at a schedule, a calendar, the 21st is the 3rd week. So we are starting on that schedule that we just showed you. We're starting on week 3. So this Sunday will be Pastor Ray and Vicky's groups, small groups that'll be coming. Okay. So that's happening there. Again, if you have any questions as we're going around with this, please feel free to email either one of us. We'd be happy to answer your questions, okay? So if we miss something or don't explain something thoroughly enough for you. And I know we're taking a little time with this, but we've had a lot of people asking us a lot of questions, and we felt it was really important just to clarify it all, and so everybody knew what to expect and what they needed to do and how it was all going to work.
So make sure you watch this video to the end, because there will be a test.
All right. Yeah, when you show up, whether you do this stuff right or not. All right. So we do have some big news. So that's Sunday. So big news. We as a leadership have voted and discussed it and talked about it, and it was unanimous, including pastor and the board as well, all of us. Midweek services are now going to be changed to Wednesday nights. All right, so 6:30, same time, 6:30, but we're changing it to Wednesday nights. Everyone really liked it as we've been doing Pastor's Bible Study this whole time on Wednesday nights. We've had a lot of feedback that people really like the Wednesday nights, and so we're going to stick with that. All right, so 6:30, and on midweek services, we are going to open it up to everybody. No assigned seating, no assigned there will be assigned. Anyway, we'll get into the seating later, but the seating will be the same for all services. But there will be no assigned weeks or anything like that. It's open to everyone until we've reached our limit, okay? And so that's happening on Wednesday nights. And then prayer meetings, we're going to be continuing to having United Prayer every first Saturday. And then any additional prayer meetings that pastor may call, those also will be open to anyone until we've met our limit. However, with the prayer meetings, we did put a little bit of a caveat on that because we feel like out of everything that we do, prayer is the most important. And so we really don't want to limit people from coming to pray if we can at all make it happen. So if we hit our limit in the sanctuary during a prayer meeting, we will begin to open up rooms within the Critter Junction hallway, Kidsman hallway, to facilitate like smaller and like separated groups in there as overflow rooms. Okay, so that's happening with prayer meetings and United Prayer. So that would be awesome to see you at all of those. Children's and youth ministry, what's happening with them? Critter Junction. So anybody in Critter Junction, full classes will not resume at this time. With the rotation, it's just too tricky. We understand that it's sad, but it's too tricky with teachers and not knowing exactly which students are going to be here that coordinate with which teachers. So at this point, the classes will not be resuming at this time, but the teachers are going to be meeting soon within the next week to really talk about how do we go forward with this if we're stuck in this for a long period of time. Prayerfully, that is not the case, but we do have some ideas up our sleeve. We're just not ready to reveal those yet, so be keeping on that. So for now, we're going to continue those weekly packets coming to your houses. And then I can't read my own handwriting. So for now, we're going to be keeping those packets coming to you with different lessons and things to do. We want to thank all of our Sunday school teachers for getting those together.
Awesome.
However, on Sundays when you're here, we will be opening a Critter Junction room. It'll actually be the elementary Critter Junction room, which most of you may know as Mrs. Newman's room, but that will be open. It will have some toys in it and such, and that will be available for children or parents to utilize during a Sunday service if you feel like you need to take your child out or they just need a little break from the sanctuary or not. You're welcome to utilize that room. Again, that is at your own risk, your own pace. We're not putting any sort of staff there, and there are no specific guidelines in that room. It's you as a parent deciding how you want to handle that. Okay, so what we do ask you to clean up after yourself and to put everything away, and we will be disinfecting all those toys and everything in between all services. And that whole space. So that's happening for Critter Junction. For Blaze, Blaze is going to be joining with Ignite for one more Friday night, this Friday night on the 19th, and this will close out the school year for them. And then next Thursday, the last Thursday of June, you are going to be going to Miss Brenda's house for a big summer kickoff event.
Blaze!
And so that's happening for you. And then, of course, your Sunday classes, as I explained already, can resume actually on the second and fourth Sundays of each month. Ignite regular Friday night services have already resumed. Just note the new start time, 6:30. So that's exciting. They're having a great time.
That's awesome.
History Makers are also going to resume on Wednesday nights, our midweek service. And that will be starting the 24th. So this coming, not tomorrow night, but a week from tomorrow. Okay, so that'll be happening for you then. All right, so those are all the sort of things that are coming up, how we're going to be handling the rotations and the scheduling and when you can come and what you can do and all of that. All right. So I think the next big thing we want to just kind of go over with you is what to expect when you come.
That's right. So, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. I'm not sure. We'll see you shortly. So as you can see this, what we're going to do is we'll have 2 ushers assigned in the lobby when you come into service. Actually, when you're outside of the church,
right,
there'll be a sign that says if you want to have regular seating, you can come straight in through the main doors. If you'd like social distance seating, you'll come down to the side entrance You come in the side door, and then we'll have markers, which will closely resemble all the little stickers that we've had on the screen today, on the floor, so you can socially distance, waiting to come into the sanctuary.
So, like he said, there'll be the 2 separate entrances. We ask that you please respect those entrances. If you are someone who's just fine with a general entrance, come in that way. Please do not use the side hallway entrance, the side entrance of the church, if you are a general seating person. Okay, that is reserved specifically and only for those who are participating in a social distance experience here at the church, okay, when they attend. So when you come into the lobby, everyone needs to be seated. So even if you're coming into the general one, please wait at the little "an usher will seat you shortly" sign in the lobby, and because we want to make sure that everybody gets to the places they're supposed to get. Those of you who are in the social distance line, you will also have a separate one for yourselves there, and a separate usher will be seating you. Other than the entrances, we also have seatings, general seating and social distance seating within the sanctuary. The general seating will be on the kitchen side, and the social distance will be on the sound booth side. And we really, again, want to just reiterate, if you are not choosing to go into the social distance side, then we ask you to refrain from going there. All right, we want to respect all of those who have come to church to worship. So please make sure that you do that. Okay. So what to expect? I think the only other thing I think that Tim didn't mention was those of you who are social distancing and decide to use that side entrance right when you first come in. There'll be a welcome table, have all kinds of stuff on it for you to grab for yourself. But also there will be a sticker with a CLP logo on it. And this is completely optional. This is, again, up to you as an individual if this is what you want to do. We just want to leave that option there. And that will be a symbol to all of us. That if you happen to be in the restroom and we come in, we're not going to come over and give you a big old hug. We're going to air high five you, air high five, and keep our distance and respect your boundaries. All right. So it's got a CLP logo, much like the kiddos for Critter Junction. When they go back, they put on a badge. You can just put on that little CLP sticker logo, and that just kind of a sign to all of us that to love you from afar, all right, and to respect your choice, and to give you your space, all right.
The other thing that's going to happen throughout the service, when we take offering, we'll have an usher that is giving cues underneath the camera.
Don't go into all the details. It's just supposed to be a
Okay, I'm not going to go into all the details. We'll have a space on the general seating side for a regular usher and a basket on the social distancing
That was the
side.
details. What we were supposed to say is for different parts of the service, there will be different options available. So for the worship experience, for the offering experience, for meet and greet section of the service, and for dismissal, there will be both general option and there will be a social distance option for you to participate in, so that you can choose how you want to do that. And our staff will be trained in how that's all going to work and help you through that process. Okay.
So you can take your lead from the ushers. They'll let you know.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So I think those are all the things that you can expect when you come. I think I've got everything here.
And one last thing about that is, again, the reason why we did this is we want everybody to feel, the heart is that we want everybody to come and feel like they can come to church, worship God, and
don't have to really worry about any of this.
Make decisions based upon their own preference.
Right.
And we want to accommodate that.
Yes, that's true. All right. Last couple of things. What we are doing. What are we doing? So one of the things that we are doing, just to kind of ease your mind, put your mind at ease, is we are maintaining proper disinfecting and cleaning routines. All right. We're going to be offering hand sanitizer at every station, every entrance. We are going to be sure to be disinfecting any surfaces, all surfaces and highly used items and areas in between services. Yes. The social distancing side will be strictly dedicated for that only. Even when we come here for meetings and such, that's not going to be just like a free for all that anybody can just sit in at any point. So just those are some things that we're doing. We also are going to be training our staff. We're working on starting that and getting that in place this week with the ushers in different places, and then we'll continue training as we feel we need to. Some other things that we are doing is we're going to be discontinuing the public water and coffee station that's in the lobby. So we just want you to be aware of that. So if you are someone who's relied on that to get your water, please make sure you bring your own water with you.
Right.
All right.
And along with that, if you decide that you would like to wear a face covering or a mask, you should bring that with you as well.
Yes, make sure, because we're not going to be
those.
providing. We won't be providing. We will be allowing you to bring your own face mask
Right.
in our what we will be doing section.
Right.
So yes, and we will not be requiring everybody to wear a face mask. So please be aware of that. That will be up to your own discretion and your own choice. But please be sure to bring one if you want to do that. So those are some of the things that we are doing. And I feel like probably there's more. And one of the things we also want to do is really strongly urge and encourage all of our attendees and all of our CLP family to stay home if you are not feeling well. If you're not feeling well, please stay home. Ask for prayer. Would love to pray for you. You can tune in live, live stream. We're still going to be live streaming the services, so tune in there. You're invited to join us there. If you have any sort of fever, stay home. If you're not sure, stay home. Right. The other thing we're asking is really encouraging people just to continue to wash their hands and just use common sense when it comes to coughing and sneezing and personal hygiene and all of that. So God gave us common sense, most of us.
Right. Well.
And we're asking you to use it. So that's what we're doing. And then some things that we need you to do. I think first and foremost, like I said, stay home if you're sick. And then also we need your support and cooperation. I think that's a big thing, is really needing your cooperation with all of this, because we're new to this too. We're new to this too. We're figuring it out, and we may not be perfect. So we need your grace and your love and your cooperation and your patience, because the first day that you do it, that's the first day we're going to be doing it. And it's all theory and in our minds right now, but we're going to putting that in practice. And so just be patient with us as we work this out.
And another thing to do is pray.
Yes.
Pray that God will miraculously change this situation, will knock down this virus, and will allow us to get back to something that is more normal. And just pray, because God, He's got all the answers. Amen.
That's true. When you come, the things we're asking you to do, really worship. When you come, we're asking you just to continue. Come, worship. In the general seating, the perimeter aisles are going to be open. The altar in that area is going to be open. We're not asking. We're not expecting you to stay reserved and in your little corner. And if you're there, I mean, those of you who are in the social distancing site, do as you feel led to do. But those perimeter aisles on that one side are going to be open. So just come, worship God, stand, just press in wherever you are, however, let's just come as a family.
Yes.
And just worship the Lord. And so we really want you to just encourage you to continue in the flow of the Holy Spirit. Let God move when we're here or when you're in your home groups or whatnot. So that's one thing that we just really want to encourage you to do. We're kind of asking everybody, and this is coming from pastors specifically and definitely the leadership as well, but we're just asking everybody not make COVID a focal point. We really want Jesus to be the focal point when we're here, and Him alone, and Him lifted high. And so, the burden for our world and the burden for people and our call and our ministry to those around us. And so we really want Jesus to be the focus, and not COVID. So we are, asking everyone, let's do that. Let's make Jesus the focus. Let's not have constant conversations and constantly bringing it up, and, just something to think about and to consider, just really kind of trying to just come here to worship and be together and lift His name up high. And we're just asking you to respect everyone's boundaries as well. And and just to honor these things that have been put in place. And so I think that's the things that we are asking from you. And then I think the last thing is we just kind of want to leave you with the thoughts of what we want to do together. So is it okay if I just read it versus try to
I think that's a
speak
great
Greek?
idea. Yes.
All right. So the things that we want to do together. All right. To encounter God. All right. We will. CLP will. We want these things to be our focus. CLP together will maintain a positive atmosphere in all we do and toward all who attend. We will respect and love each other. We will, as a church family, continue in avid prayer. We will, as a church family, put our trust in the Lord and in His word alone. We will declare Psalm 91 over our families and our homes, and we will live in that assurance. And we will declare that Jesus reigns.
That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
So, yeah, I think that's all we got. I know it's
it.
long, and we apologize,
Right.
but we really wanted to get everything out there. If you have any questions,
Definitely. Make sure you email us. You can email Deanna at dleathers@churchoflifeandpraise.com, or you can email me, tleathers@churchoflifeandpraise.com. We'll be happy to answer any of your questions. No question is a silly question. Make sure that you ask whatever
great.
is
So
on your
everybody
heart.
clear, yeah, on what?
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I guess with that, we're going to sign off
All right.
and
Can't
have
wait
a
to
great
see
night.
you.
And make sure if you can find us on Facebook and also on YouTube. Search our Church of Life and Praise on YouTube. You can see the videos there. Always check out our website as well and get any info there and get to our stream. So
And don't forget the weekly nuggets from the
that's
leadership.
right. Definitely. Make
All
sure
right.
you check those out. All right. Have a good night.
Thanks for your time, everybody. God
All right.
bless, and we love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.